Bowler's coming at it. Bowler over on the far side. Bowler just in front. Rockin' Horse is in for the fight. Bowler and Rockin' Horse, they hit it. Bowler.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Final Gallop. It is episode 293 and proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. This week we're going to preview the big team of runners that we have heading to Ipswich Cup race day, one of the great social race days on the Queensland Racing Carnival. Morning, Tony. Last Saturday was a bit of a roller coaster for our stable, not the result we wanted in the Stradbroke, but it was good to get the win from Freedom Rally and the Wayne Wilson.
Yeah, good morning, Claire. You know, I'll touch on last Saturday first. Yeah, it was a bit of a roller coaster. It was obviously a bit of rinse and repeat in the Wayne Wilson from Antino the year before, and then into Freedom Rally this year, and he broke a track record. He looked to be making it hard work of it there for a touch, and then he really got going. He won quite soft in the end. He's a very promising horse, so I'm sure there's a really good spring carnival beckons for him. Antino, yeah, it was certainly an up and down Stradbroke to watch, and you know, he began tardy on the shifty ground, and nothing went right after that. No. So I'm not going to touch on that much more, the Straddy, but as far as Ipswich goes this week, it's awesome, this race day. I love it. It's great for the club. They put a lot into this big day. They get a big crowd there, probably as many, if not more, than what we get at Stradbroke Day at Eagle Farm in a much smaller venue. So it's a fun day. Look, it's always got its colourful aspect to it.
Yeah, get the white
but it's going to be
out.
it's going to be a really good day's racing. A lot of people are going to get there and have an absolute ripper of a day, and it's a big change from the city five weeks we've had here at Stradbroke season, which I think's been a great success here, and I certainly applaud the club on everything they've done here for Stradbroke season this year. But it's going to be good to get out to Ipswich, a little bit further west of here, and it's going to be a ton of fun. Hopefully we can steer you into a few winners. Okay.
Now, just before we get into our preview, we have our latest promotion with the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. This week the prize is a $200 voucher for the Catalina restaurant at the Novotel Brisbane Airport. To enter, just head to our Facebook page, look for this week's post about the Final Gallop, and click on the link that we provide to enter your details, and you will go into the draw, and the winner will be announced on next week's show.
Hi Jane, it is. I'm due for a lunch out there. Food's great.
Rigged.
Ah.
Rigged.
Okay, obviously not me.
No. It won't be you. Okay, now onto the preview for our runners at Ipswich on Saturday. The rail will be in the half a metre position. The track is currently a soft 5 with mostly sunny days ahead. Similar conditions to last year, Tony, when it seemed favourable to the on-speed or midfield.
Yeah, interesting. I think the track's racing better in preparation for this year's carnival. It's probably one of the tracks of late that's been quite consistent, to be honest. So. They've had now a couple of weeks break. They don't get much of a break up here in Queensland into their carnival day. They've had a few weeks now, and we've been racing with that rail right out there. So that inside part of the track should be in great condition. Look, I think it'll be tempo related. I could be wrong, and obviously we're in early, so hopefully it is.
Out, yeah.
But I think the track will be more tempo related. It's that sort of speed circuit where you just got to get those right runs in from the 600 as the pressure builds in races, and if we can obtain those right runs, I think the track will be fair enough. Okay,
we'll start in race 1, which is the Class 3 plate over the 1100 metres. We'll talk about Spirit Queen first. She'll carry 58 kilos with Vlad Jurek riding, barrier 9. She's paying $10 to win at the moment and $3.10 for the place. Had a good start to her preparation with a win first up at the Provincials, and then a fast finishing third at Doomben over the 1200.
Yeah, and the difference between the first up run and the second up run was only barriers.
Yeah.
She drew well first up, and on a sort of on pace sort of bias track at Sunny Coast, she lobbed into a great spot off a low draw and was able to weave her way through, and she was strongest late. Went to a midweek meeting at Doom with a rail out, drew outside, got back and behind two horses that were going nowhere, and she made great ground from the back. She's drawn pretty well here around the mid-section of the race. I think she finds a midfield spot here, and if we get that fair track, I'm indicating she finds a line really, really well. Okay,
second runner is I See You Coming. He'll carry 58.5 kilos. Ryan Maloney on board, barrier 4. He's paying $11 at the moment to win and $3.30 for the place. He's first up on Saturday. He did hit the line strongly in his most recent trial, and his form suggests that he's usually pretty competitive first up.
Yeah, his jump outs and trials have been both good. He's up to the mark well. My only concern is that it might be just a touch short for him, 1100. Off a low draw, he'll get a nice run with Ryan on, and look, he'll be very competitive. I think it's a very competitive start to the race, to the day, this race. I really like these two. I got Spirit Queen on top, so I think 1200 back to 1100 is ideal for her. Third up, she's really humming for that short trip. And I do just slightly worry that I See You Coming once that extra 100 metres.
Okay. We'll head to race 3 now, which is the benchmark 78 handicap over the 1,666 metres. Not very good for a Kiwi to say that.
That's a mouthful for a Kiwi, isn't it?
It is. So we have 4 runners in this. We'll start with Tenzing, 61 kilos, lots of sixes in this, with Angela Jones riding barrier 5. He's paying $4 to win at the moment and $1.95 for the place. Was a dominant winner at the mile 2 starts ago, and then he was okay for 5th last start, and probably the inferior going on Eagle Farm that day.
He got caught in an ordinary spot too. I mapped him to be a lot closer that day at Eagle Farm and then come out to where he needed to be. He got too many pairs back and then he had to come up the inside into that worst part of the track, and he was a definite pass mark run.
Yep.
He just needs to get the right running because he's weighted to his top. 61 kilos, it's a bit of weight for him.
Yep.
He's in great form, the horse. If Ange can bounce and just find that nice position on the back of the speed and save him up for that short sprint, he can run really well. She's just got to time the ride well. But she's got the low draw to aid her.
Yep.
So if she finds that nice spot early, he's going to run very well.
Okay, next one is 5th position, 60.5 kilos, Michael Rod rides. He's drawn barrier at 15. He's paying $10 to win and $3.30 for the place. He's missed his form a little bit this preparation, and you've tried a few different things with him, but he was disappointing behind a stablemate Tenzing last start, but he's had a bit of space between runs.
Yeah, he was awful the other day, so we've backed off him a touch and went back to the trials, and I just tinkered with a little bit of gear again with him. He always got me thinking, so I may as well have him thinking.
True.
We'll just ride him nice and negative here from the gate, go back, try and find the fence and try and ride through them. Want to see him just hit the line with some intent, and we can move on to another race.
Okay, next one is Madame Odette, 57.5 kilos, Vlad Jurek, barrier 8. She's paying $6.50 to win at the moment and $2.50 for the place. Has been going great in the lead up to her first up run, which you thought was a forgive. Steps up to the mile second up, which will suit her as well as the better going.
Yeah, I think the mile's important to her. I thought she was okay, fresh up. I think she'll improve into this. Am I a run away from being at my top? I'm not sure.
Okay.
Maybe I am. I think Vlad's style of riding will suit her. It'll give her a bit of a squeeze early, try and hold a midfield spot on her. She's a filly, then you've got to ride through that bit of a flat spot.
Yeah.
Then she finishes off well. I can see her running really well here. I just don't know whether I'm one run short.
Okay. Next one is Blazing Boots, 56.5 kilos, Ryan Maloney on board, barrier 11. Blazing Boots is paying $8 to win and $2.80 for the place. He was a winner at Doomben over the mile last start. He's up in grade but down in weight for this, but drawn a little bit awkwardly.
Yeah, he's drawn sticky. If Ryan can give him a Blake Shin style ride, we'll be in the money.
Yeah.
He's just got to bounce and just find a spot on the back of the speed somewhere. It'll be a bit messy. Always this mile start, you go into that corner fairly quickly, and everyone's sort of sorting their positions out till they get into the back straight. So, knowing Maloney, he's good form, rode a double yesterday, he's riding quite well. If he can bounce and just allow the race to unfold and slot him behind the speed with a bit of cover, he can run really well, Blazing Boots. He's up to the mark. I think he's 3.5 weeks between runs into this. He's ideal. So on top, I don't know. I toss up between him and Tenzing.
Okay.
Tenzing, the 61 worries me a little bit, but I love the map he's going to get.
Yeah, okay.
So I just tossed them 2 up. I think it's a pretty open race, but we got a very good hand in it.
We do. Race 4 is the benchmark 78 handicap, which will be run over 1,200 metres. We've 2 runners in this one as well. Rock Ribbed will carry 59.5 kilos, Vlad Jurek, barrier 6. Rock Ribbed is paying $4.20 for the win and $1.85 for the place. Had a bit of a small break after 2 close placings at Eagle Farm over the 1,200 metres. Looked good in winning a 1,050 metre trial at Deangan last week.
Yeah, he only had a light freshen. He'll really come into his own now this time of the season.
Yes.
This is a good race for him first up. He'll jump, he'll be on speed, going good, the horse, going really good. Really happy with him, maps well.
Okay, second runner is Daytona, who's our friend, just having a little nap there. 58 kilos, Regan Bayliss rides, barrier 23. Daytona's paying $7 to win and $2.60 for the place. Won at this track and trip first up before I strong to the line third at Doomben last start. From the back, is just going to need some luck from that draw.
Yeah, he will. I mean, Regan likes to give him a good ride here. He's got a wide draw. He'll just go back, be ridden quiet. He'll be in the second half of the field somewhere with cover and look to come with 1 run. He'll hit the line terrific. It all depends on how that race flows in front of him for him. I'm not as concerned about the gate with him as I would be for others, because he's just a horse you've got to ride one way, and that's just switch him off early, put him to sleep in the second half, and then just ride your way through the field. Yeah. He'll hit the line really good, Daytona. He's over the odds.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty open rate. A lot of these early races in the card are very open. Rock ribbed, I'll just put him on top slightly because he maps better. It's the only reason.
Okay. Race 5 is the Class 6 plate over 1,350 metres. Another race we have 2 runners in. Standing order will carry 57 kilos. Ryan Maloney will ride him and he will jump from barrier 12. He's paying $8.50 to win at the moment and $2.90 for the place. He's been a bit disappointing in his 2 runs this preparation, but they have been on rain-affected tracks. He's been back to the trials since. In his favour, he's won from 1 at the track and distance 12 months ago.
Yeah, we'll be aggressive on him out early, put him up on speed. There's going to get a bit of pressure from the face horse, David Van Dyke. This first up 13.50 normally begins at a lower trip, so I'm going to take my bloke on the score of fitness to be aggressive, put him on speed, let him know he's in a race, either be in front or outside lead or 1-1 outside. I think he'll enjoy getting back on good ground and he'll enjoy Ipswich. He's a big improver off what you saw at Dooman.
Okay, Wollombi will carry 55.5 kilos, Vlad Jurek, barrier 15. Warby's paying $5.50 to win and $2.20 for the place. He's a pretty talented gelding, but he just can't draw a barrier this time around. We'll appreciate the good ground and the drop in weight though.
Yeah, his first up run was quite good off a low draw. Then he had just the wet tracks haven't been helping him. I don't feel. The draw is of some concern, but it's a good start. 13.50. He just goes back in the second half of the field with cover, and just looks to come through them and come with 1 run. He just needs a bit of luck, a bit like Daytona for him. But that horse there will improve so much getting back on good ground. He presented with the winner the other day at Eagle Farm, and he just can't let down as well on that shifting wet ground. He's going to get a better track here, and you can see him being a big improver. I'm going to put Warby on top there. I think he can run really well. There's enough pressure. And not so much the pressure up front for him, it's more as the run he gets through. He just needs to be able to pick his way through the field, Vlad, and if he can do that, he can really finish off.
Okay, race 9 is the Listed Gai Waterhouse Classic. Run over 1,200 metres, a race you did win with Solar Star back in 2020. We have 5 runners in it this year. Bezique will kick off with 58 kilos, Ryan Maloney, barrier 16. She's paying $8.50 to win and $3 for the place. 2 stakes second placings from her last 2 starts, both from my gates as well. Can she go one better?
Gate makes it tough, and there looks to be good pressure in the race. I spoke to Ryan a bit about her yesterday. I think she's just a filly here, or a mare here. We just ride with an open mind. We let her begin, and she likes to jump and put herself into a position. Don't take that away from her, but just have a good look at what's happening underneath to see where we slot in. If she gets any luck from the gate, I'm adamant she's got the right form. We've just got to get across from the barrier.
Okay. Wollombi will carry 55.5 kilos. Vlad Jurek will ride her, barrier 14. She's paying $11 to win at the moment and $3.60 for the place. She's a newcomer to the stable and she is a group winning mare. It was a nice hidden trial at Deegan last week and usually comes to hand pretty quickly in her preparations. Yeah,
the winkers go on under race conditions as well. She does shape up well. We haven't had we've tried to make up a bit of headway in a short time and I'm really happy the way she's responded. She actually maps pretty well. There's good pressure here. She maps to be off that speed, probably just worse than midfield with cover. I think you're going to see her flashing home late.
Okay. Next one's Typhoon Taavi, 54.5 kilos. Angela Jones, barrier 7. She's paying $8.50 to win and $3 for the place. She's had a bit of a break between runs and since her 3 wins in a row over 1,200 metres, progressing through the grades. She gets her chance to make amends for a disappointing result in last year's race when ridden back, and she does have new owners in this race. Yeah,
she's been to the Broodmare sale and Yulong have purchased her from the team in Element Hills. So hence that little bit of a break when she went to the sale. She was sort of kept ticking over, so she didn't lose a lot of fitness. I thought her trial there at Deegan was really good. Her work sense has been great. She's right back up to speed. It's just what sort of run she gets here. There is a bit of pressure, which I keep mentioning in this race. It's about Ange keeping her flowing in a good rhythm. I liked the other day at the trials when Party for 2 wanted to go quick, we were able to sit off it and be stronger than on the line. That may be how we have to play this. I'm not sure, but she's in good order and I've always earmarked this race as a race for her. So I'd expect her to race well because she's very well weighted.
Black On Beauty will carry 53 kilos. Damien Thornton will ride her. And she'll jump from barrier 3. She's paying $10 to win and $3.30 for the place. Was a really good first up win at this track and a benchmark 72 with a big weight. First time in a listed race, but we'll get every chance with the light weight and the good gait.
Yeah, just been there 2 weeks ago, got the job done, comes down in weight, feels great. Second up in the prep, she always improves. From 11 to 1200 is ideal for her. She maps to get a really good run. She's going to be somewhere 3rd, 4th, I'd say, in the run here. And going to race really, really well. With 53 on her back, she's a real chance.
Okay, and the last but not least is Blue Spinel, 53 kilos, Mark Duplessis, barrier 1. She's paying $31 to win and $9 for the place. It was a good run for a midfield, finished in the Helen Coghlan. Last start, settling last from a wide gate. She finally gets a gate here and gets a suitable track, and the lightweight is also in her favour.
Yeah, it should be half this price, $31. Should easily be half the price. It won't be any further back than 6th or 7th here, I wouldn't imagine, over on the inside. At 1,200 on good ground, she gets a chance to improve huge. She was really good. She wasn't far off the back of Comrade Rosa the other day on an unsuitable wet track at Eagle Farm and giving away a big start and coming up at the worst part of the track too. So I think she's a big improver. I think the market's got her price really wrong, to be honest. I think it's definitely got her price wrong.
Now, we've got 5 in it. Are you going to just sit on the fence?
I'm just happy to let this race unfold. All these mares are pretty similar. My only concern with Bezique, obviously the wide alley, and she's up in weight a bit now. But you couldn't fault the way that she's racing. She really is going well. I think I've got a great team of mares in this race, and I obviously really hope that we can win it, but I'm not going to put one on top of the other.
Okay, that's fair enough. Okay, we are into the final furlong of this week's Final Gallop. Who is your best winning chance at Ipswich on Saturday?
Look, on a day where I think these races are pretty open, you can tell that by the market. I'm going to pick Wollombi. He's going to get back, give him a start, but I just feel he's busting to run well, and a good track's in his favour. So I think I said it coming into Eagle Farm when we had them couple of good track meetings. Those horses back on top of the ground, you really see him improve, and I think he's one you're going to see improve sharply back on top of the ground here.
Okay, your best each way chance?
My best each way chance, I'm going to go nice and early, Spirit Queen. She's out to about $12 at the moment. I think she's outstanding each way chance. She maps so much better than a lot of maps have her. I think she's midfield here at worst, and she's very hard to beat.
Your best track worker this week?
Track work this week, we had a really smooth morning. I love the way Bezique's going in the last. I really like the way that she's going. And I thought Tenzing worked really well in his gallop. He worked tricky, he worked in company. I thought he was good. But we had a nice smooth morning. We had a very fit, healthy team of horses heading to the races on Saturday. They'll parade well, and there won't be a bad performer amongst them.
Okay, and your performance from the stable for the week?
Freedom Rally, I guess, was a shining light. And he's a horse to be a bit excited about to go away. He'll travel away now in the spring, and I think he's going to be a really nice horse to take away, and he's going to learn and improve a lot off this next trip. Okay,
and do you have a couple of black bookers from the jump outs this week? We had quite a few go around at Dooman on Tuesday.
I do. I've got 2 there I like. I think Bubble Rock was humming along nicely for the Tiara, and what's going to be obviously a strong rendition of the Tatch Tiara with the 2 mares, probably filly and mare from the Stradbroke, I'd imagine, going there. So the winner and second horse. So she hummed along well. Deep Vegas is a filly that's pretty exciting. I think she kicks off in a couple of weeks. There's a couple of really nice horses from the trials, and as this carnival winds down, you're going to see this next wave of horses come through, and there's going to be a lot of Wednesday, Saturday runners coming out of the stable over the next month and a half.
Okay, now it is time for Cav's Corner, which is supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. Only one leg of his multi again last week with Freedom Rally winning, but T missed the place for a second leg. Let's head to Craig now for Cav's Corner.
Welcome to Cav's Corner for this week. Last week, old one leg again, the old toffee apple. Anyway, this week we'll venture to the outskirts of Ipswich. We go to Bundamba, Ipswich Cup Day. We'll go Spirit Queen a place into the last race, Bezique a place. You should get over $11 for the $1 dividend. Good punning, guys.
So he's gone Spirit Queen a place into Bezique a place. I'm pretty sure you'll like that bet.
Yeah, I do. She's just got to overcome the gate, Bezique, but I think, with the calibre of jockeys we've got there on the weekend, I think Maloney's a good booking for her.
Yeah.
He stands out a little bit as opposed to some others, and if you can get a bit of luck from the gate, it's a race I do believe they'll string out. So hopefully horses off those wide draws will get in somewhere. Now, where she gets in, I'm not sure. But if she can get in somewhere, she's got the right form. Spirit Queen, I've already mentioned, I thought she's my best each way. I think she'll run huge. As a Cavs multi last week, obviously Freedom Rally got the job done. T, for the punters out there that lost on the multi, I'd follow her. She'll get a set of blinkers put on her, and she was really timid racing inside that winner. They were just banging her around a lot, and I think back to midweek grade with a set of blinkers on. certainly pay to follow T in the future.
So we can't blame Craig for that one.
We won't blame Craig.
Yeah.
I think we blame T's mental attitude at this point of her life, but
Okay.
I think a set of shades will improve hers dramatically.
Okay, well that's good to hear. Okay, good luck at Ipswich on Saturday, Tony. Are you going to be staying and getting those white shoes on and partying with the crowd after
No,
the
I will
last?
not, but I'm sure they're all going to have a great time out there. I know the club's going to put on a good show, so everyone wants to get there and have a fun day at the races. It's a much more relaxed feel than what Stradbroke Day is, but it's a lot of fun. So get out there and support the Ipswich Turf Club. They do a great job and they always
do.
punch above their weight.
They do, absolutely. Best of luck to the club and everyone on Saturday.